Google is literally giving you the answer to what works in their searches. All you have to do is look. In this video, we'll have a quick look at exactly how you can easily uncover the way in which Google would want you to present information on a specific topic. Search results aren't random. You might think it is, but that is definitely not the case. It's exceptionally deliberate. Due to the tons of data that Google has, they were able to confirm what works for a specific audience when they ask a specific question. So for you to use that information, you set yourself up for success. You do a little bit of search analysis before just jumping in to creating content. You'll understand what the intent is. You'll understand the format in which people want to consume that specific content. You'll have a better understanding of exactly how you should put your content together to at least be on par with your competition, but then to exceed what is out there. So let's start with the simple stuff. Let's first have a look at the keywords that you are selecting. Commonly used tools like Ahrefs and SEMrush would be a great place to start. You'd be able to find keywords that are relevant to your niche and that are ones that you can realistically rank for and has a decent enough search volume. When you have a look at that keyword, first figure out what the intent is behind that keyword as well. So is it informational? Is it commercial? Or transactional for that matter? Or is it navigational? Once you've figured out that, then you can move on to the search results and go and have a look at how Google actually presents the information related to that query. For each of the results, and I'm talking about the most important ones, the ones that would form your core content, go and do a little bit of analysis. Spend a couple of minutes on those search results and really understanding what is out there. Go and have a look at the word counts. Go and have a look at the use of headers. Go and have a look at the format in which the content is presented for those top 10 search results. That would give you a ton of information on what you need to have in your content as a minimum. What you can alternatively do is skip this step and then a couple of months down the line, wonder why you're not getting any traffic and why you're not ranking. Or you can just put in a little bit of effort now and make sure that your efforts are rewarded. Once you've got a general idea of how the content is structured, you must have a look at the content depth. Now, the content depth has a couple of dimensions to it. The first, most obvious one is in terms of how many keywords are used on that page. So some might have 3,000 words that are used. In other instances, 500 words are more than enough to convey the message that you need to convey. The goal, however, is to be a little bit more strategic than your competitors about this. Have a look at what you're trying to answer. Have a look at what you're trying to present. Make sure that you strategically go a little bit deeper. Now, that little bit deeper can come in a couple of formats. It can be an extra couple of pieces of information that most of your competitors don't state. It can be visuals that help to explain something a lot better. It can be a short video that gives people instructions on how to do something. All of those are things that are exceptionally valuable and will help your readers to actually consume your information, but Google also to reward you with better rankings. This step I just want to pause on for a second. And it is about these formats that you use in your content. Now, I mentioned the use of an image, and I mentioned answering a couple of extra questions. But it's very important that it is formatted in the way that your top 10 competitors are doing it at the moment. If you are not putting in listicles, or you're not putting in step-by-step guides, you're not putting in infographics, when that is something that you see on all of your competitor pages in the top 10, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. Because then you're not presenting the information in a way that Google wants to consume it. Google doesn't think you are relevant in comparison to your peers. Why will they rank you? Something else that you will gain that is exceptionally valuable from doing that little bit of a deep dive at the start is you will see what the content gaps are in terms of the content that you currently have, but also potentially what the gaps are in the content that your competitors are presenting. As you go through each of them, you will see that there are commonalities, and that is the basic pass rate of content that you need to have on your site. But you would see that there are some outliers and extra pieces of information that they're offering. Those are the ones that will set you apart. So if you take those extra pieces of information that they've got, build out a little bit more about that, present it in a better way, make it easier to consume, your overall body of content will just be so far richer. So if you're presenting something that is better overall than your competitors, it becomes very difficult for Google not to reward you with better ranking. Tools that you can use for this can be divided up into free and paid versions. There are enough tools to actually get you going on the free side to help you be successful in all of this. Start off with the search side of things. Start in incognito mode and just use Google search. That is a brilliant tool always, because that is a very fair depiction of exactly what Google expects, what they like to see when you enter a specific search. If you also have a look at the people also ask section, it gives you a lot more information on the types of questions that people want to get answered that is supplemental to what you're already working on. Google Trends will also give you an idea of whether or not your topic is moving up in popularity or dropping. It is important to make sure that those trends are actually true and those trends work, because they are ones that would dictate whether or not the efforts that you put in will be worthwhile in the coming months. You've got a trend that is slowly but surely dying. Why put in the effort? For keyword research, a website that I also like using is WordStream. They give you a fair amount of information. If you want to go dig a little deeper, you don't get all of the results in terms of search volumes and things like that, but it's a great start, giving you an idea of the type of keywords that you can go after. They have their free keyword research tool on their site. Just have a look at the top menus. There are other tools that they have as well, but that depends on whether or not you need them. But for now, for this exercise, you're just going to need the free keyword. There are, of course, a couple of wonderful paid options out there, but for now, you don't need to worry about the paid options. Got some money to throw around. Ahrefs, Moz, SEMrush are all good options. If you want to take a step deeper into it, Surfer SEO is definitely a brilliant one to be playing with. But for now, you can get away with the free ones without needing to spend a couple of extra dollars to try and get a competitive advantage. So let us just rewind and have a look at this very simple action plan of how you're going to approach this. So before you start writing, you do a keyword analysis. Find out what will work for yourself. Then you go and have a look at the search engine result pages. Do an analysis of that. Have a look at your top 10 competitors and the structure of the content that they have, and the type of content that they have. Then do a bit of a gap analysis to find out where you can add more useful information than what they've got, or where not all of the sites mention certain pieces of information. So if you are going to make sure that your information overall is far more useful, far more informative, you're putting yourself in a great position to rank well. You do this at the start and you create your content in that way, you're going to set yourself up for success. Publish the content after you've written it based on these pieces of analysis, and then give them 2 or 3 months just to mature in the rankings. Once you've seen where it's at, you can do some more refinements, but that is for another video. One thing that this principle also emphasizes is that you are not going to be taking shortcuts. You're going to be adding value to the internet, you're going to be adding value to your users, and Google is going to reward you because of the authority that you're showing, the expertise that you are sharing with people on the internet. And that's the complete system of how you should be approaching this. If you're going to approach your content creation in this way, you make this a discipline that you always maintain, you're going to set yourself up for a lot of success and save yourself a hell of a lot of time by not having to come back again and again and again trying to rework things that you messed up the first time because you wanted to take shortcuts. I hope this helped, and if it did, please do subscribe. I would love to share some more information with you on how you can improve your search engine rankings and how you can keep growing your website.